Good afternoon, good morning. Welcome everyone to the Build with Ionic celebrations. Thanks everyone for joining. Already 32 people. I don't know if you're all on YouTube or Twitch. It looks like actually, yeah, most people tuning in on YouTube. So welcome everyone. Kenan, Paul, Andrea, Raphael, Rob, people from Germany with a name that I don't want to say. Rob, Jose, David. No, I don't think today will be the day I will build Skynet. But today is anyway a great day. First of all, is everything working? I think you can see the chat box. You can see me. Hello. Good morning from Canada. Good morning, Gary. It's really hard to find a good time to stream. I feel like this afternoon time is like the best possible thing for me. I think in the in the USA it's either 9 a.m. in the morning, so people might be working, or it is like 6 a.m. where my brother lives. I guess he won't tune in. It's way too early from Peru. Should be very early morning in South America as well. Anyway, I really don't know what the time is like in like where Josh is coming from. Also Australia. I guess Australia is like 6 hours later, 8 hours later. I'm not sure if we got anyone from Japan or something like that. Yes, Ionic for life. I can really confirm that. So if you haven't seen, heard, or noticed, today I've released my latest book, Build with Ionic. I will definitely share a lot about that book in this stream. I'm going to show you what's inside, how the applications look like. A lot about that, but while more people are coming in, I actually wanted to take the time to first of all celebrate something else, and that is Ionic version 6. So it was like the perfect timing. I have set my release for the book like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. I decided it's gonna be available right for Christmas time. And then I was in contact with Max from Ionic, and I heard that they wanted to release Ionic 6 last week, and I kinda released it already silently. But no, the public announcement was actually yesterday, and today my book came out, so I was very happy about seeing that. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I'm gonna show you a few of the cool things. Of the new things. Actually, the documents are not at beta anymore. They are now here. Great. About Ionic 6. But before that, let me take a sip from this epic tea. Most people here must be self-employed. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Thanks for... Where is my subscriber notification? I don't know. Thanks for someone who subscribed. I really don't know where I can find this. You know, I don't do this live stream often, as you can see. 10 a.m. in Puerto Rico. Perfect hour for the stream. Thanks you, Oma. Yeah, the resolution of my screen, that's a challenge. As you can see, you have those white areas at the top and bottom. That was really the only way, no, it's not the only way, but the best way I found. So now you can see really the whole screen. It's a 40-inch Dell something, whatever. I tried to just have a border in the center, but nothing really worked with the stream. So now you have everything on the screen, which means most likely text here inside the browser will be super small unless I go a bit in. so 150%. You might be able to read this now. Anyway, for my coding examples, I usually zoom in here as well. So I don't know, zoom 4, yeah, that's the typical way I record my videos. So we're gonna use that. While we're easing into this stream, let's take a look at Ionic 6. I've used Ionic 6 for quite some time actually. I feel like I've been using it since the summer, but maybe it's just a few months ago. Twitch link. YouTube shows only 720p max on this stream. That's a pity. I'm really trying to stream in the best possible resolution. Twitch link. Yeah, I can post the Twitch link, no problem. Let me find this somewhere. Twitch. On Twitch, I use my hidden second name.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no.
Let me copy this in. There you go. That's the Twitch link. Captain Ionic. Maybe I can rename myself on YouTube sometime as well. Why is YouTube doing this to me? I really have a good connection. Not sure. Thanks for... now I can see this better. It's okay anyway. That is good news. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm also waiting, is Mike already in here? Usually Mike from the Ionic team joins whenever I post something. I should check this out on Twitter. Doesn't look like he's awake yet. He will join. I'm sure he will join. Anyway, back to Ionic 6. So I've been using this for quite some time. Maybe you have as well. The cool thing is that for most applications, you can really just install the latest package. So Ionic version 6, or you can find it right here, Ionic Angular version 6. You won't see usually not a lot of breaking changes unless you're using something strange. There's actually somewhere here a guide, the migration guide, but really the migration is just update to Angular 12 plus and then install the latest package. That's really everything you need. Then you can find at some point the breaking, where is it? Updating your code. Yeah, of course the datetime component was completely revamped in case you're using datetime. There are a lot of things that you might want to change. Ionic 6 breaking changes. I don't know if maybe some names changed. The modal might mess up your styling. That's just something you have to consider, as well as the popover. But besides that, it's not like they have renamed any components or made any changes to the routing. You see, this document isn't very long, and it's really the easiest update I've seen. Ellen is here as well. Yeah, Ellen, I've been waiting for you. Hi. Someone say my... Welcome, Mike Hartington. I speak Spanish, but you explained so well. Thank you so much. I speak a bit of Spanish as well. Actually, I learned Spanish for about a year, and I can understand Spanish quite good. If you would talk to me, I would most likely understand what you say, but no, I don't want to try my Spanish skills. Maybe next year. Would be funny to have a Spanish video on my channel as well. I guess there were quite a lot of people. Thanks, Ellen, for tuning in from YouTube and Twitch to raise my viewer count. Twitch too? Let me check this. Why am I 720p everywhere? That's impossible. My stream output is definitely... my stream is definitely set to full HD. It's really strange. I use Streamlabs. It works quite good, but as you can see, maybe I'm a bit confused about the settings. And at the same time, I really don't want to change any of the critical settings in here. Output scaled. Yeah, yeah. I think you have to do the assignments from Twitch to have full. Lol. Interesting. Yeah, that might be the case, or I might have messed up the settings for the output of this stream. Both might be the case, but I fear to change them right now, or I would have to end the stream and then all of you would be gone and I would have to start the stream again. I'm just gonna make everything a bit bigger and then hopefully you can see most of this stuff. Okay, we going back to our application. So update to Ionic 6 is really easy. And I just want to show you a few of the cool new components because that's like the most visual thing. Since this is just a stream and not a video where I have to build up some tension, let's just get started with the most, the coolest thing. Or actually, I don't know if it's the best thing. There are like two things that I like the most. So number one on the list is the Ionic Accordion. I'm just gonna completely shameless copy everything they have done inside the documentation. Just gonna rename this and then let's take a look at this. One thing I love about my new Mac is how fast it actually is. So usually npm install or Ionic serve and all the reloads, it's just so fast. So in the past, when I was exporting a video of 10 minutes, it would take about, I don't know, like 5 minutes perhaps. Now the export is 20 seconds, maybe. So it's just really unreal. Okay, here is the accordion component, and I really love this component. It's so cool. You can use it just here. For bigger lists, you could use it inside a side menu. You could use it maybe even inside a header component on the web. So to have a little drop down, although that requires a bit of additional styling as far as I know. And in the past, I already tried to customize this. There will be a new tutorial or quick win or anything like that about the accordion very soon. You can use keyboard navigation, you can style it, which is quite interesting. I'm definitely going to cover this, how to use slots and these things in a future video. As you can see, you can definitely target this. You can change the icon position, you can change the icon itself. I even tried to nest lists, which also works. So for that, let's just remove a bunch of these things. I think. Yeah, it still works. That's good. So let's put simply the second Ion accordion into the first accordion, and you're gonna see it just works. So the accordion works by having a slot for the header in which you inject the header, as you can see colors, and it has a content where we see red, green, blue. Red, green, blue, that's everything you can expand. But we can just replace this and put in another Ion accordion and say slot content. And as a result, we have an accordion and another accordion. The problem is that in this case, either we have to use another element around it or use a different name. It was one of those two things, so I forgot about that. Let me try, because otherwise, as you can see, they're now kind of connected. So in that case, we would have to use the accordion value. No, it's not the value. What's the property, Mike, to separate them? Ion accordion group, disabled mode, multiple value. Once again, value. Or perhaps I should wrap another Ion Accordion group. Maybe that works better. Slot content, Ion Accordion group. Will it work now? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Yeah, now we got a nested list, as you can see. So I just missed the surrounding Ion Accordion group. I could now do this more levels, really. How much I want. I could put another Ion Accordion group once again into this slot and use it in here. And I had like 3 levels of accordion. This becomes really interesting when you're using some structured JSON data and then create these and not just set them up like I do. Font is too small. Let's go bigger than if the font is too small. So the accordion is really one of my favorite new components. Yeah, definitely Ellen. I love that. Mike is not sure about something. Well, I think Mike is happy about the accordion as well. So this is one of my favorite new components. I think the second coolest thing is the new bottom sheet presentation of the modal. So let's keep some content in here. Maybe I'm just gonna go completely in there. I don't care. Oh my, that hurts my eyes. Maybe I care. Maybe I should do something. Oh, and I also, I forgot this one. Okay. Yeah. Now I feel like part of the Ionic team. I think everyone was wearing this at the Enterprise Summit, right? I can as well. I can. Okay. Now I hear myself quite strange. Could you please noise cancel me? I can't see your coding. I zoomed in quite a few times. It is still too small. Can I somehow confirm this? Maybe I'm gonna have to... Can I watch my own live stream? Where can I see my code? I think with this level it should work. Good day from Australia. Okay, what time is in Australia? I was puzzling about this. could you let me know? I really don't know. Is it like 9 p.m. or is it? I don't know how far you are. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with what I wanted to show you, which is the modal controller. This feels really strange now because it's so big. For the modal, we of course, well, actually not of course, but we might want to generate a new page. So let's generate a modal. Is it possible to increase the size of both screens? I don't know what you mean. I just have one screen. So this is just one gigantic screen. Besides that, I only have the actual Mac. It's 10 p.m. Tuesday night. Okay, well, it's actually a fine time. The code screen looks fine, but the output screen seems to... you mean the preview of the application, right? Do you mean that? I can definitely zoom in a bit more here. Because reading this text was definitely too hard. I was sleeping. Did I miss anything? I don't know when you were sleeping, but you might have missed the launch of Build with Ionic or the release of Ionic version 6. It's currently in release heavy week. Okay. So what I wanted to show was the new modal presentation. Let's quickly add a button. Button on click, we want to call present modal. Really don't care about the presentation right now. And you can now just add breakpoints. So these breakpoints define at which position inside your view the modal will kind of snap. And then you just go ahead with an initial breakpoint, which is one of the breakpoints from that array. And then you present the modal and have fun. So let's give this a try. And there it is. I think this is actually the component I like the most about the new, because I tried to replicate this with my own behavior, but I was never able to do it really like this, with the fading, the background opacity changing, and this smooth effect. Really, yeah, this is the best new thing. I can completely drag this to the top, and you can do so many things with this. There are a few things about this inside build with Ionic as well, so you can easily use this in the bottom to show some filter. You can change something here in the background, update your view. It's really, I really like this new component. Yeah, I love that band as well. I don't know when I found this the last time for a video. I only bring it out on special occasions, Alan. Make an example of local notification with sound. Yeah, I might do this. No, really, yeah. Local notifications has always been kind of challenging, I know that. Anyhow. Okay, I think in this speed we won't get through everything. But anyway, we've already seen two of the cool new things. So the modal and the accordion group. What's new as well is the Ion breadcrumbs component. This is like, I don't know, it's a cool little something that can be helpful in some occasions. So setting up breadcrumbs is pretty easy. And then it looks like this. Maybe these are, let's remove a few of the breadcrumbs. But I think, I don't know if I've seen this often inside mobile applications, but on websites it's a lot more common. So most likely this is now way too small to see. Actually, everything besides the application is getting bigger, right? This makes more sense. Okay. So yeah, the breadcrumbs component is quite cool. It's easy to set up. You can customize a lot of things. And then you can have click events or router links attached to the different breadcrumbs. Definitely cool as well. But yeah, we will see how we can use this in the future. Okay, next to the accordion, the breadcrumbs, and the bottom sheet component, what's new as well is the Ion datetime. It's a bit complicated to showcase this, so we're gonna just take a look at this inside the documentation. It can look like this. So you can have a cool component here. Can I zoom in a bit more? Yeah. With a selection that looks great on iOS and Android. You can customize it to just have the year and month selection. You can have the time as well. You could have only the time. There are really a lot of settings. And this is basically now the default representation of the Ion datetime. It's not just the input with a select anymore. It's really like this. And it looks amazing on mobile devices. And kind of on the web as well, I would say. Screen so small, sad. Sorry, Roki. I'm really sorry. I will also, I think, actually pretty soon, I think this month I will release, no, this is actually just the regular documentation, Bruce. You can find it now inside the Ionic Framework docs, or on the blog you can check out this post about Ionic Framework. Okay. So I'm going to share more about that soon. The select also comes with a new styling. I think I haven't used this a lot already. Might do something about that. The modal, as we've seen, also comes with something pretty cool, and that is an inline modal. So you don't have to create another page and then use all the logic that I had in here, you can just do this directly from your HTML. I guess that's too small as well, but you can also check it out, the blog post on the Ionic blog. It's pretty cool. I don't know who requested this as an addition or why, but I can definitely see the benefits. And I must say, I kind of like this and might do this in the future. If you have just a modal with a close button and really super easy setup, you might be better off by using it inline like this. On top of that, the Ion popover can be used. I think the popover can also be used inline. Yeah, in templates, right? That works as well. What do we got as well? I actually haven't tried this, so let's put this into our application. The Ion item now has new slots for helper and error. I don't know if those slots. Okay, the please enter your email is visible below the item, and the error, at least on iOS, not yet visible, or it is connected to a reactive form. Let's see if this only works on Android. Yeah, looks like we have to use maybe Mike. Last question for Mike from Ionic. How do we see the note inside the error slot? If you're still here and know the answer, you might want to answer this. But I assume that the error slot is somehow connected to some kind of input validation of the Ion input. So we definitely have to figure this out ourselves or check out the documentation. Maybe they have added this. Ion item. We should see the slots. Error content is placed under the item displayed when an error is detected. Yeah, but when and where is the error detected? That's a question, but I'm sure we will find out. Otherwise, I'm gonna find this out. But besides that, they had this cool new styling for we support new fill and outlines. We have added additional Ion slot. Material use. So I really wanted to have it like this. I'm not exactly sure what they used to make the form look exactly like this. Can't see what you're showing about Ion node. Yeah, the Ion item, as you can see here in the code, now has another slot. It has a slot for injecting a helper slot and an error slot in which you can inject text or icon or whatever you want, just like in any other slot. And the helper slot seems to be visible. Oops. The helper, yeah, that wasn't better. Can I please close this? The helper slot was visible right here under my application. So if I zoom into this, there is a little please enter your email. But I can't see the text that we've injected into the error slot. So I'm not sure when exactly that comes up. That was what I was talking about. And I can't really find anything more inside the documentation. Anyway, I would really love to use this. Supported new filled and outlined. I don't know at which place we can use filled. Most likely for the Ion input, but I can't see any mentions of filled or outline in here. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can create an epic form like that. But definitely forms like this would be awesome, so leaving it here. They also changed for iOS the header, so these are just the small additional things. So they have another setup here. Let me copy this in. I'm just gonna replace everything so we can see iPhone X, so only visible on iOS. I think we need now a lot of content in here. So I'm gonna put in Ion item. I've put it below the content. Let's put it into the Ion content, and then what was the shortcut? Constructor, something like this. Yeah, that's like having fake items. We can now see up here the shadow of the header just comes in when we start scrolling with this new collapse set to fade. So previously we had only collapse, I think condense. That was the previous version of the special header. If you're using condense on iOS, you might have to add another Ion header element in the content, and then it scrolls up to the top. But if we now add fade, we see that it actually has no border at all. And I guess for the footer, yeah, if we reach the bottom, you might not able to see this, but then actually the color here and the border disappear as well. So cool little additions for iOS and Android. We're gonna have to see how we can make use of that in the future. Definitely the new components are the coolest thing. Datetime, select, the modal, pop over inline, additional item functionality, the accordion, yeah, like my second favorite new thing. The breadcrumbs, really, there's a lot in this. They've of course improved once again the performance. You can read all about this. If you're using Vue, they have now added routing, pretty cool. Can you use 200%? Sure, this is already 200%. Is this still too small? We can do this even better. Then additional, I didn't know about this upfront, platform detection customization. If you have something, yeah, platform specific, this might come in helpful to figure out on which specific platform you run, because the default queries, for example, here they say the default desktop function returns false for devices with a touchscreen. This is not always wanted. So this function tests the user agent instead. You could now write this kind of platform check yourself if you want to. Something I think is pretty cool is the TypeScript improvement to add interfaces, especially always for infinite scroll. This was always annoying. We had this custom event and we just called target complete, and we would always get a TypeScript error. Now they added events for these things. I don't know for which other components they did this, but this is definitely helpful. Yeah, they know how to detect the platform. It's just, I guess that some people complain that it's not 100% accurate on some platforms, so they just made it possible to add your own code to detect the right platform if you have some kind of special requirements. If you have a device that is usually a tablet device and then it's always recognized in the wrong way and you want it to be recognized as a desktop device instead, I guess it's for those special cases. Yeah, we got the TypeScript interfaces and then it's already done. As I said in the beginning, if you just tuned in, it's really easy to migrate. What's next is they want to release one major release per year at least. I think that's definitely a good idea. So hopefully we will see next year some cool things. I don't know what they're working on. I think they mentioned somewhere that they are working on a playground for Ionic documentation. I think a playground is a pretty cool idea. I've seen this in the past for I think just Tailwind released something like that recently, and others have this as well. I think with Swift you can easily bring up a playground as well. So definitely something cool. I don't know what else they're working on. I know about a few projects Max is working on. I will try to figure out what they're up to next, and then I'm gonna share this in a future video. But so far, give Ionic 6 a try. You're gonna love it. Now, let me take a quick look at everything you said. Love your progressive web app. Yeah, the calendar. Yeah, that was a kind of cool idea. I almost forgot about that. hope you're enjoying the Ionicember. Make sure to come back every day. Today, day 14. Haha, guess what? Today is the Build with Ionic special. Tomorrow will be a new tip. Hello from Brazil. Hello, Felipe. No, there's currently no student discount. Maybe in the future, but right now, Build with Ionic already is already 20% discount during the launch. I haven't said this before. You can get my latest book until Friday for 20% off at buildwithionic.com. Actually, that page was Built with Ionic, of course, as well. Playground like a scratchpad? Yeah, I kind of guess like maybe Playground might be like, can we do something with Xcode? I actually don't know how to create a Playground with Xcode. Perhaps something like Stack Blitz, where everything's already ready and you can just dive in and just create something without setting up all the dependencies and just bringing in a component, giving it a try. Also seeing some sort of customization about the component in action. I guess like that's gonna be the Playground. How long will it be available? Discount for the book will be available until Friday night this week. So Tuesday, 4 days. 4. Hello, y'all from Texas. Hey, Scott. Texas, I guess, good morning. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay, it's always the same. There's a lot more people tuning in from YouTube, but at least I think I'm able to see the whole chat on both YouTube and Twitch. Oops, that was close. Yeah, I'm as well hyped for Ionic version 6. It's just that I've been hyped for Ionic version 6 for almost like 2 or 3 months. So at this point, it's kind of like, yeah, hooray, the final version is here. But I've been using it for so long that it feels like it's been around forever, because I used the release candidates and the beta versions. But it's definitely amazing. What's going on Twitter? A lot going on. That's good. Great. Hope you're all not working on your Log4j project errors. I guess we will have something else with NPM in the future. Okay, let's close this one and let's show something else. And that is the book. The book is, last question. Is Ion Slides removed? No, Ion Slides will be removed in the future, but it's not yet removed with version 6, as far as I know. It's only marked as deprecated, so you know that it's going to be removed in the future, and you should prepare for that. Okay, so what I wanted to show you actually is a bit about the book. So the book is called Build with Ionic. I've been working on this, I feel like, for 6 months now or so. It's finally there. The cover, I really love the cover because it was designed and created by Ben from the Ionic team, who also made the Ionicons. So if you see similarities to the Ionic vlog logos on the posts, that's where this comes from. So I don't think Ben is here, but thanks, Ben, if you see this at any point in the future. If you get the book, what will I get and what's inside the book? Now, first of all, you will, of course, get the book. You will get it in 3 different versions. You will get it as a PDF, as an EPUB file, and as a MOBI file. So with those 2 files, you can directly get it to your Kindle or other device if you want to. Otherwise, I usually recommend reading the PDF. I think it's the easiest to copy code or try something out. The book is now around 406 pages long. So I actually, in the beginning when I was outlining the book, I planned to include 6 big applications. And then at some point I noticed, okay, every chapter is already about 100 or more pages, so I really had to decrease the scope for this book. So now it's only 3 real-world examples and 1 additional example, so in total 4 applications in the book. And if this book is or becomes a big success, I might do build with Ionic 2. Otherwise, I might do next year practical Ionic 2. I have a lot of ideas for either of them. Besides that, but there are different packages for the book. So you could either get the basic package, which includes the book, as I've just shown you, the PDF with about 400 pages, EPUB Mobi, the source code, of course, from all 4 examples, and all future updates for the book for free. Currently, instead of 49, just 39 plus any kind of taxes you might have to pay, because we all love taxes, right? Okay, that's the basic package. Let's see what we got inside the basic package in terms of applications. Here's a lot of cool code, that text that you can read and should read, but let's take a look. Actually, zooming into these looks kind of horrible, so instead of showing it there, I'm gonna try and show you the screen of my phone. In the meantime, let me check. Are you using Stencil? No, I usually don't use Stencil, and I haven't used it in the book. Do you have any real apps that you published in the App Store? Yeah, and they're horrible because they're like 5, I don't know how many years old. I wish I had that book back then. No one made a big change. I don't know if I can somehow find my old apps. How can I find them? Let me try and look this up. There it is. This is one of my old applications. It was a to-do list kind of thing. Priortrix. Yeah, work smarter, not harder. It was actually, it had drag and drop. That was the coolest thing about that whole application. So I learned about this technique, the Eisenhower system, to prioritize your work, do, schedule, delegate, don't do. And I thought, let's just do an Ionic application. And it wasn't too bad back then. It actually was responsive, so you could use it on an iPad as well. But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I don't know if I had any more applications. No. Yeah, the Insta Companion for scheduling your posts. That was actually quite okay, but I didn't put a lot of love into this project as well. So if you just create applications like these without any good UI, you're most likely gonna fail anyway. And that's also a reason why I created this book in the first place. Because during all the app review videos that I've done, I noticed that there are a lot of applications that just look the same. And your applications don't have to look like that, really. They could look just like this. So this is not the Netflix application. This is an application from the book. The first example, actually, or the second example, it starts with an introduction screen. Already on that screen, there is something special because you can notice this parallax fading in the background. That's not the default behavior. Otherwise, the swipe would just completely be removed. This is already custom, and this is not using Ion Slides, but instead Swiper, since Ion Slides will be deprecated in the future. So therefore, this is already the first custom thing. Besides that, of course, there's the Netflix login, and within we got a lot more, like the fading header effect, which just fades out the toolbar at the top very smoothly. All the rest here, it's just using Ionic and a bit of CSS to position everything right. Really, it's not too hard to create anything like this. On the detail screen as well, we have this static video at the top. with a list at the bottom, which you can find inside the Netflix application. I actually completely forgot all the pages that are inside this application. We got a details page, which also has this kind of fixed area at the top. What do we got as well? I think everything, yeah, all the pages. So this page is quite cool because while you scroll, you see the next video starts and the previous area up here fades out. Or if I go in the other direction, it fades in and the other one fades out. So this is a pretty cool thing I implemented on this view with some dummy videos. Actually, who's also watching Seinfeld? Since Seinfeld was released on October 1st, my wife and I are watching Seinfeld once again. I think we're at season 4. Every evening we're watching like 2 episodes, and Seinfeld is just amazing. Besides that, there was something else I wanted to show you in this application. I think it's the search. So if you check out the search area, you will notice it looks just default, right? But once you click it, there's so much going on in the official Netflix application, and you don't get this out of the box with Ionic. So these things are all custom. This is actually, it's not that easy because the placeholder text jumps from center to the left side, and also your input starts at the left side. You have to make sure that the icon is right, and at the same time, the input field size is decreased and the cancel button comes in smoothly from the side. All of this combined creates something that feels like, yeah, naturally. So you click search and yeah, nobody would actually notice this, but this is just so custom, and it's not easy to create that. And yeah, all applications of the book are of course using Ionic version 6 because when I was working on the applications, I already had all the release candidates for Ionic version 6, so I created them, and when you download the book package and the application code, you will have Ionic 6 in those applications. That's also why I used Swiper for the slides instead of Ion Slides. Let me show another application. I don't know which one. Let's take a look at this one. This is a food delivery application. I just picked one. There's Uber Eats. In Germany, there's Lieferando. There are just so many food delivery options. I just picked the one that looked pretty cool to me because this one had a cool header transition where the header fades out while this part here is sticky to the top. I found this pretty interesting concept, and that's why I picked it. Besides that, this application has a lot of things. So we have this skeleton loading views. Hello to my neighbor Felix. We have, what do we have as well? We have a lot of selection options. Yeah, we have the bottom sheet right here in action, but this one is actually fixed to the bottom. But you will see that this one is connected to the background. So that's something pretty cool about the bottom sheet modal version. So you can easily change your background. There was another selection somewhere. Okay. Yeah, we got this filter view in which you can select some filters. And you might have noticed this here at the bottom. So let me deselect everything and select more. So another nice transition, just like we've seen with the search field transition from cancel. These are just small things, but they can really improve your applications. So we got that. We got a details page with a nice parallax header up here. We have a custom select component up here that automatically reacts to the category we're currently scrolling above, or scrolls to a category if we select it. Actually, with a nice smooth scroll. So you know you need a polyfill for this on iOS because the scrolling actually doesn't work that great. But yeah, we got that as well. What do we have about this application? A custom scrollable segment component with these kind of animations and connected once again to a little bottom sheet. A really, it's been a long time ago. I kind of forgot about all the things I added to those applications. But this is the second. Let me show you the third big application, which is WhatsApp. WhatsApp application comes with a classic tab bar setup. Settings screen is quite boring, but I also wanted to include these boring screens simply because it's getting too warm in here. They can teach you a lot about setting up a screen as well. Usually in applications when I see the settings screen, it looks horrible. We got 5 items, they use the default Ionic icons, and then most developers call it a day. But there's so much more you can do with the settings screen just by increasing, for example, the icon size, putting some colors behind that, and that just makes a huge difference. Inside the WhatsApp application, we have a lot of interesting things. We have the list right here with the search up here, which actually behaves completely like the official WhatsApp application. Do we have functionality here as well? Yeah, we have this custom letter search component where you can just drag your thumb. So I'm dragging my thumb. Yeah, that's great when this happens. I was dragging my thumb along. You can find this in contact applications to quickly go to a letter. There's not yet a component about this, or at least I haven't found anyone. So this was a custom development for this application. Besides that, one of the cool things in here is a gesture to reply. So you know this from WhatsApp chats, you can reply. It's not a big deal. And of course, it's not a big deal with Ionic. So just swipe to the side and there you go. Reply. All of these things are just done with Ionic functionalities. So this is using the Ionic gesture API. So you can scroll something to the side. This is while we perform that gesture, changing the opacity of a button to fade that button in. And then this is actually a combination of just dynamic content with an ngIf, and also a custom tool, custom keyboard transition, because it looked kinda bad when you just had an ngIf. It popped in at some place. So instead we used a custom transition for this, which made this a lot better. Now, besides that, which screens do we have as well? We got this one with another cool search transition. So if I go into the search field, it performs this cool thing that you just take as granted in most applications. It scrolls the search to the top, fades out the bar, and on click, it just goes back. But this is not something you usually have in Ionic applications, since it takes a bit of time to implement this, but it's really worth taking the time for these small things, as they can just make your application feel so native, really. It just looks like the official WhatsApp application, and those are small things. Besides that, yeah, I tried to mimic the status page as well, even with these little time sensitive things. I can now pause this story as well if I press on it long enough. I can also once again up here swipe to reply, so using another gesture. And then the last thing, kind of funny thing I wanted to implement was this closing animation. So that was kind of challenging to implement. It's not 100% like WhatsApp, but it comes close to it. It's a modal, and then I change a global CSS variable to change that radius. It's kind of funny what you can do if you dive a bit deeper into these things. Finally, I think the camera. Yeah, for the camera, I also tried, hello, little glass. Try to do what WhatsApp did. So using the camera with a custom overlay, capacitor camera, using a custom overlay, and on that custom overlay I simply displayed some images. Okay, let's close this, and you notice as well that we actually have a tab bar and when you click that button, it opens up this additional view. So that was kind of cool to implement and quite funny as well. Now, these are the 3 main applications of the book. I'm going to show you the 4th application right here inside the browser, because this is an application I added after the book was, or in my eyes, the book was mostly done, but you brought up this question in some poll that I ran a few weeks ago. And that was about using dark mode and responsive design and these kind of things. And all those 3 applications show a lot of cool things, but they're not really meant for the browser. So they are primarily for devices. So on top of that, do we want to use this styling or the default styling? Anyway, let's just take a look at it like this. I'm gonna zoom in a bit, know how this works on this application. But as you can see, this is now a website built with Ionic, with a cool drop down up here, just something you would have inside a regular application as well. Yeah, it's kind of easy to have a side menu or use the Ion split pane for the web and then have the menu at the side, but you rarely see an Ionic application with a bar like this at the top. And the cool thing now is, once you decrease this, we got a lot of media queries going on and flexible styling, and already at this size we can see that we now got the home menu where we can actually find a cool accordion component. So this page is completely responsive. You could use it like this on the web, or you could also deploy it with the same code for iOS and Android, since you automatically have the side menu on mobile devices. That's what I definitely wanted to include for you as well. On top of that, of course, some special effects here going on. A bit of logic, even with a cart and the checkout process, and as well with dark mode. So you really requested this, and I wanted to add this as well. So we can have dark mode automatically applied to our application, or with an additional switch right here. Once again, of course, works great in here as well. Also, this application shows a bit about theming your application, because let me change the styling to this, and then we're gonna change this to the original styling. So this shows how you can quickly transform your application to use a completely different styling. Now we got a whole different, not completely different UI, of course. That's kind of hard to make like in a white label solution, but you can definitely make it about all the colors inside your application and do this in a cool fashion. Scott Newman, thanks for purchasing Ionic Ultimate. You're not alone. Yeah, since today, I think at 9 AM I opened the cart. I've been constantly, my watch has been vibrating all day long. So thank you all to everyone in the chat who already got the book or might want to get it. If you want to support me, go to buildwithionic.com, pick one of the packages. If you don't want, buy it for your friends as a present for the holiday season. Anyway, I really appreciate everyone getting the book or just being in here as well, of course. So those are the 3 main applications plus this additional application. If you go to Build with Ionic, you will find a bit more about the different packages as well. So all these 4 applications that I've shown you, Deliveroo, Netflix, WhatsApp, and the Pizza Shop, are included in the basic version of the book. And with the additional packages, you can get a bit more. So with a premium package, you get a video about creating a Tinder-like swipe gesture. You get a cool little Twitter UI template and the $10 discount on your first month of the Ionic Academy. So there's the premium package. Instead of 39, it's then 71. The book is a PDF, Mobi, and EPUB version. It's not hardcover. I thought about doing something like Kindle, or Amazon print on demand. I might do this in the future if I see that a lot of people already purchased the digital version. But at this point, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it because it sounds like there's still a lot of work to do to convert your digital book to a real paper book. Although it would be pretty cool, especially just having a book because of this cover that Ben designed. It would look really nice on my shelf. Maybe I'm gonna spend some time for this next year, but I really don't know. So the premium package has a few more templates and the video course, and the ultimate package comes with another big video course about building an Airbnb-like application. It's I think more than 2 hours long. On top of that, more app templates, another video guide, and also a big discount on Kickoff Ionic. So the ultimate guide actually, ultimate and premium basically pays for itself instead of using premium. All of this, of course, 20% off during this week until Friday night. You can just get it here. I've already applied the coupon or discount code to all the packages, so you don't have to add this to your cart anymore. To answer a few questions, this book is only available with Angular, not React or Vue, because I haven't used React or Vue a lot, so I can't talk too much about this. I know Josh is usually publishing his books for all three frameworks. Kudos to Josh. I'm at the moment not able to do this. It's not a physical book, it's digital. If you're stuck, you can of course contact me. You can send me an email, but actually it's usually better to ping me on Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter than email. I don't know if anyone else is like that. It's like I'm working for myself and they're usually not really critical issues. So whenever I get an email, I usually look at the emails during the day and figure out if they're urgent or not. If they're not urgent, they go to a folder and I batch answer them every Thursday usually or Friday. If something is urgent, I answer directly, but there's not a lot urgent if you're self-employed and don't work for anyone else. There's not a lot of urgent things. If you know, I usually get this question a few times, if you buy a lower package, can I upgrade later? The answer is yes, of course. I will then create a custom coupon for you so you don't only pay the difference. Just contact me if you purchase a lower package. Can I use the templates for my own applications? Of course you can. You can use everything that's in that book for your own applications. Only thing is, so for example, the Netflix, Deliveroo applications, they have some artwork, some images, they have some JSON dummy data for all of these things. This is not my data, this is not my font, so you can't use those things. But all of the Ionic, JavaScript, HTML code is completely yours after purchasing the package. And of course, if you don't like the book, just send me an email. I don't know if you've been a customer of my products before, but I'm really, I don't know how to say this in English, but I think I never had to fight with anyone about a refund, not for the Ionic Academy, not for any of my products. So if you're unhappy, I will completely give you back your investment, because I really want the people who join the Ionic Academy or purchase my courses to be happy about their purchase. So if there are any problems, contact me. If you don't feel happy, you get your money back in the first 13 days. Become a master of Ionic UI as a component. Yeah, this page was built with Ionic, and that's basically built with Ionic. I don't know why it took me so long. Might have been all the little details I included in the book and the apps, and testing them and making sure everything's fine, and also setting up this landing page, and also doing the Ionic Sember project next to it. But yeah, no hassle refunds. Thanks, Levar. That sounds good. I should add that to my sales page. May I suggest an app to review? Sure, you can always, best actually on Twitter. Whenever I see this on Twitter that someone recommends an application for an Ionic app review, I put it onto my list, and then when it's time to create a new episode, I just take a look at that list and select the applications I like. Simon looking super slim. I don't know if did you post this about the book and the applications or about myself? I really, Levar, you really need to clarify this. Because I could agree to both. The apps definitely look very cool and I might look slim. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight this year due to a good diet and a lot of almost daily sports and treadmill for my running for my standing desk. So I could agree to everything. Incoming tweet. Yep, I'm gonna monitor that definitely. Okay, I can see 2 new purchases. If the 2 persons are in this chat, thank you very much for purchasing the basic versions of Built with Ionic. About yourself. Yeah, then very thank you. I've been doing my best to be in shape for the Build with Ionic release. I've been working for this day now. No, actually I will continue next year. Starting January, I'm gonna continue. I just took a pause of 2 months or so. I did a diet until October, November. Yeah, I've held my weight. So that was actually a win as well, because coming from this diet and then going back to your new normal isn't very easy. So holding your weight is actually another challenge. But weight loss journey app, it's a good idea for the next year. We might do this. Would be indeed cool. What can we say as well? Let's take a little pause. Are there any questions about Build with Ionic, Ionic version 6, the Ionic December? Maybe just a little ask me anything right now, because I really need to take a little break from talking all the time. I need to eat a little slice, sit back and just watch your chat and questions. Maybe I'm gonna do the music a bit. I would really love to hear the music just a tiny bit louder. I hope this time as well I'm not copy strike by YouTube for having kinda any sound in here that I'm not allowed to use. I still remember about a year ago when I had a live stream and I used the Jurassic Park music. Yeah, of course that was a horrible mistake to use that music, but it was just so much fun to start the stream with that Jurassic Park music. Tonight I was waiting. I was telling myself, I have been waiting for this day, and you know, the Phil Collins song, that would have been perfect today, but I guess then the video would have been taken down once again. There's actually some it is kind of healthy, I would say. It's a healthy banana bread. Maybe not too high in proteins, but at least I think it's sugar free, because everything, wherever you put banana into, there's enough sugar already in it. You don't need any additional sugar if you do anything with banana. Yes, I release a course on the Ionic Academy every month. I release 1 course and 2 quick wins on the Ionic Academy, and of course I take recommendations or wishes from the members. So if you have any requests, if you're already a member, or if you plan to become a member, feel free to send me an email or whatever you have on your mind about a new course that you would like to see with Ionic. Also, in general, if you have any requests for new content, I'm currently working on my schedule or outline for 2022. Still feels kind of strange. So if there's anything you would like to see about Ionic, Ionic 6, Ionic in combination with Supabase, Firebase, Nest.js, WordPress, I don't know, any topic, just let me know. And maybe I even have another scene for these. Let's try something cool. I think I know what's missing. The audio is gone. Yeah, audio should be back, right? Yep. Sorry about that. That other scene had no audio input capture. Bug array. No, this session is not about to end, but it also started an hour ago. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Someone asked, where can we see the progressive web app? Which progressive web app, Scott? You mean Ionicember, or I'm a bit confused. But I was at the C# question. Where was it? Should I learn Ionic or wait for .NET? I actually don't know what .NET is coming up with. I think what was the tool in the past for .NET? Xamarin, something like that. I don't know. Ionic is definitely a great choice. If you have no JavaScript knowledge at all, I really say just give the different tools a try. So you could try Ionic, then you're free to use Angular, Vue, or React. You would have to learn one of them. Instead of Ionic, you could also learn React Native. Then you would just have to go with React, or you could try Flutter. All three are good options. I would say see which fits best for your case. So Ionic is definitely great if you want really just one code base with not a lot of if, else, and that code to work on all platforms where the web is. So this is really where Ionic shines. If there's anything great coming up with .NET, I really don't know about the .NET landscape. So in that case, you might want to try that out. Really no idea if it's going to be a good tool or bad tool. Really, it's not like Ionic is the best at all. Usually the React Native developers claim that React Native is the best. I don't know. Ionic developers rarely claim this. Either they just... No, I don't want to start any fight. I don't know why. All tools have their pros and cons. So there are also pros and cons for Angular and for React or for using Vue. But it's really up to you. Let me quickly post the Ionicember in the chat as well. Just bought a subscription to the Academy. Great, thanks a lot. Yeah, I can confirm this. I think, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you see something wrong in here. Anyway, okay, what questions do we have as well? It's 8 p.m. in India. That's a fine time, isn't it? It's like prime time. So we're streaming in prime time in India. Okay, I would be interested in chat solutions for Ionic Matrix. What is on Matrix.org? Do I want to open this? Okay, it's just a framework. Yeah, I also had a tutorial about, was it WebSockets? No, something else. I forgot about this on my list, but yeah, chat. Good idea. I'm gonna put this on my list for the next time. Something about chat tutorial. I don't know how, but yeah, we're gonna do this. A little late to the party, no problem, Prasad. We're still here and celebrating build with Ionic. Yeah, if you learn Ionic, you really should learn one of the frameworks, Angular, Vue, or React. I think maybe if you haven't used any of them, getting into Vue might be the easiest, because Vue, at least when I tried it, didn't have a lot of constraints and it was kind of easy to put together your stuff. Angular is very opinionated, but comes with a nice structure. I really like Angular for all that it brings and all this structure of the pages, services, components, and modules, and how everything works together. For React, yeah, it's a lot more modular, I think, and you need to understand more packages to make it work for you. But that's just my feeling about React. If you have Angular knowledge, is it safe to say Ionic would be more like using Material, or we be more like using? Yeah, kinda. If you already have Angular knowledge, then using Ionic, yeah, is kinda that's anyway confusing, I think. Ionic is really what we talk about as Ionic is, in my eyes, Ionic UI. And I feel like we will see a rename of some sort in the future. Because really, the release now, it is about Ionic UI components. All the build process is handled by Capacitor. All or the most of your logic is handled by React, Angular, or Vue in the background. So Ionic is really just the UI layer. This includes a bit of logic in terms of modals, of popovers, but most of this is really UI stuff. So yeah, if you know Ionic, if you know Angular, using Ionic is really just like using Material. Additionally, only that you get with Ionic a lot better UI on mobile devices. I like Ionic as a business decision because we can create apps much faster than React Native or Flutter. Yeah, I don't know how fast you can create a Flutter or React Native application. They always claim it's better, it's more native, it's faster. I think Ionic is working on some comparison, or they already have some resources about that. In the end, it's really you're best with the tools you know. So I know a lot about Angular, so I'm gonna create Ionic applications in minutes. If I would have to use something else, it would take days. And so if you're a company and your developers already know something about web development, they should get quite quickly into Ionic. Flutter performance is a bit better. Yeah, I don't know. We see that claim a lot. I think Matt from Ionic is working on something about that. I don't want to say too much about that. In your video, how to improve your coding skills, you weren't too excited about books. What changed your mind? Looking forward to buying this. Yeah, looking forward to that as well. Thank you for your artwork. Thank you. Yeah, it's easy to say I can't remember. If you say I said this, I guess I said this. I haven't read a lot of books. That's true. But I felt like preparing this right here. So I wanted to prepare this material in some way I knew for my audience, for you, for everyone watching my videos. And I felt like the book form was the best way. It's not a printed book, so I would definitely recommend you go through this on your whatever device as a PDF, because then you see all the graphics with all the colors. You can easily bring in some code to your own projects. I just usually don't like books because I learn differently, and I know people just in general learn differently. So I know a lot of people learn great with books. A lot of people learn great with videos. That's another example. I've maybe watched like 5 or 10 coding tutorials, and most of them just because I wanted to see their style in YouTube videos, and still I have like 200, 300 videos on YouTube with tutorials. It's because I know this format is great for people, and that's the same for this book. So I don't know, I might not get it, but actually I purchased a lot of books because from the outside I thought, oh, they look so interesting, I'm gonna buy this, and then they ended up in my library and never read them. But yeah, that's the reason. So people learn differently. I don't really learn that good. I actually don't know how I learn. I don't learn a lot lately. Anyway. Okay. Good morning to Peru, to South America. Learned a lot from your videos. Thanks a lot, Prasad. You're very welcome. The best take is the one that make you feel comfortable. 100% reason. I just can't work with React, but I love Angular. Yeah, kinda same for me. Tried React a few times, but yeah. So if you have Angular knowledge, it's safe to say Ionic. But didn't I answer this just? Yeah, it's like using different set of UI components. Can we have a quick win on messaging using Socket.js? Yeah, I'm gonna directly copy what you said into an open document and you might gonna see this next year. Vue is awesome. Yeah, if I would had to make priorities, or I would say Angular, Vue, React, but that's just for me. I kinda like Angular. I've been working with Angular for a long time. I don't know how many years, quite a few years. So that's why I like it. I tried Vue, but if you come from Angular, from all this organized code and all this opinions about your code, and then you got Vue and it just throws one file at you with everything included, you're like, why? No, I don't want to go back in time. It just felt like that. I know it isn't like that. I might try Vue next year again. Because I think actually a lot of Vue people are coming to Ionic. I think the React community might appreciate React Native more from the numbers of installations, but I think Vue is really enjoying Ionic. Last two Ionic apps have been in Vue instead of Angular. Yeah, why not? React.js was really easy to learn. Yeah, might be the case. Maybe I'm gonna try it again. I wanted to try Remix as well, so in that case I might have to learn some how to improve the performance of Ionic apps. That's not something I can say like this. Make sure you don't create any memory leaks with subscriptions. That's one of the biggest issues I've seen. Don't put too much code into constructors. You can optimize your files and the images you display. Actually, improving the performance of Ionic's apps, you need to make a video series. Yeah, that was on my list. I was always so busy with the release of Build with Ionic and the book that I just picked kind of more easy topics for all the latest videos. So things I knew how to create, and that went a bit faster. Next year, I will try to really do like zero client work and focus completely on creating content and an additional project that I'm gonna start pretty soon. But next year, I hope to deliver even more interesting videos, and then I will also try to do a video series on Ionic performance. Would love to create a Kahoot clone with Ionic, so I'm gonna check out the Kahoot application up front. Okay, I think we can show this. Kahoot, play and create quizzes. That looks indeed interesting. Yeah, it might be something for a cool Ionic Academy course. Even with live playing against others, that would be funny. Shashank working on Ionic since Ionic 3, and I've been working since, I think, actually Ionic 1. And yeah, it's definitely, I just love Ionic as well. Yeah, Vue feels messy. That's exactly how I feel about Vue. It felt messy. It felt like a step back from Angular. Sorry, Vue community. Yeah, Alan is raising his hand for React. If I would have started with React, I guess I would love Ionic as well. So we're kind of in this together, right? We can agree on Ionic, maybe not on the framework, but on Ionic itself. Vue is probably the nicest thing since Perl. Okay, you really have to explain why. Maybe just a few points why you think Vue is that great. I guess it was created for a specific reason, and it has its strength, but I just couldn't see it initially. Maybe it was disguised by something else, or I was already raging about this. Yeah, I think voice over IP, like Messenger, something like this was on my list all the time. What was the name for this? Come on. It's not that hard. Let me check my my infinite long content plan for course topics, for quick wins, for full-blown tutorials. There it is, Ionic Web RTC. That's what I wanted to create for quite some time, actually. I think this was the content you selected in some kind of content voting. I'm really sorry that I haven't created it by now. Web RTC, yeah. It was, I think that was kind of challenging for whatever reason, because you need a server or whatever. But yeah, that's on my list for the next year, and I definitely hope I can deliver that next year. Okay, what do we got as well? Let's hear it for JavaScript. Yeah, got a lot of plans. I think to change from Ionic to Flutter. Khalid, I really don't know enough about Flutter anymore. I gave this a try a few years ago, or maybe it was a few months. I can't remember with the pandemic going on. It's definitely good as well. You can't go wrong with React Native, Flutter, or Ionic, I think. It's just that in the end, it's a different approach. So I think, as far as I know, with Flutter, you won't easily get a website. I think you can get it by now, but they're still using a different system. So with Ionic, really, everything you do is kind of like, it's like standard web development, I'd say. So that's really, give it a try. See how Flutter feels for you. Bring up an Ionic application, do a little tutorial, and then just compare your results and what you feel more comfortable with. React, Angular, which one better and easier to learn? React or Angular, which is easier to learn? I have heard that the learning of Angular is actually not so easy. Since it was years ago, I don't know. I feel like learning Angular, you have to learn a lot in the beginning to get started with. You have to understand a lot about modules and components and all these kind of things that I've picked up or others have picked up over years. It might be easier to learn React or Vue, but just the initial level or amount of hours you have to invest to learn something, I wouldn't consider that an argument for or against a framework, really. In the end, you work with something for years. So what are 20 hours, whether it's 50 hours that you invest in the beginning to learn something, if you're more happy with something for the next 2 or 3 years, really. I never thought that argument is really very important. So once again, as always, I would do a tutorial on React. I would do a little tutorial on Angular, like try to build a simple to-do application, and then just see what feels better to you. And of course, it always depends on your company, if you're working for a company, the situation in your country, because I know that, like I think in the Bay Area, React is a lot more popular. Here in Germany, Angular is actually quite popular. So this depends from country to country as well. Also with Ionic, Flutter, React Native, these things also seem to depend a bit on the country. Flutter feels like React. maybe I can't say. Does Ionic losing its value because of competition? No. I wouldn't say. Can we see npm install stats Ionic? Or actually, actually I want to see the installation stats for capacitor, because that looks a lot more interesting. So definitely the capacitor stats, the download trend is going up all the time, which shows that a lot of people are using capacitor. Now, capacitor is not Ionic, that's true. And I think that capacitor might be even like more important than Ionic in the future, but that's just assumption and me trying to figure out the future. I feel like, yeah, everyone can build a great UI. So we have Angular Material, we have other UI frameworks like Tailwind. Ionic does a great job at the moment of having platform-specific iOS and Android styling. But in the future, I don't know how unique Ionic components will be. So I've already felt this throughout the year, that the Ionic team, the company, is kind of focused a lot on bringing capacitor forward. They hired a lot of people, they had a big capacitor release. So I feel like they're investing a lot of time and money into capacitor, and that capacitor might be their big thing in the future. I don't know if this will be in 2 years, 5 years. It's just a general feeling I have. Maybe I'm wrong in the future. That's just an idea. There's more information on Ionic Angular than Ionic React. Yeah, I can 100% agree on this. There's tons of information about Ionic Angular because, well, Ionic Angular was the combination we all used in the beginning 4 years ago or something like that. So that's the reason why there's a lot more content about that. Alan is already doing a great job. Let me quickly plug this in. Alan, what's that? React Hub. Yeah, I forgot about that. So if you're into React, you should definitely check out the Ionic React Hub, where Alan is. Nice, that looks cool. Where Alan is posting his examples for everyone checking it out. Ionic React Hub, or directly check him out, Alan, on Twitter at 93Alan. He's definitely the guy for, or who's actually stepping in for Ionic React. And I feel like there's place for one more. So if I had started to write content like half a year ago or a year ago, I would have settled on Ionic View, because I think it's a nice niche. You can create a lot of content. You're gonna get a lot of views because you're like the only one writing about that. So if you still want to start a new side project in 2022, I recommend to create a blog fully dedicated to Ionic View. Oh, now I lost some questions. Better frameworks available for progressive web app and app development. There are other frameworks available. Not all frameworks are better. Actually, I'm comfortable with Ionic, but recently I've joined a company. Most developers there are using Flutter. Yeah, then you're gonna have a hard time. That's just, you won't be able to change that company. If they have like 3-5 developers who already know about Flutter, they perhaps already have Flutter applications, then you're not gonna change their mind. It's gonna cost the company a ton of money if they would now settle onto something else. And they don't have to. Flutter is good, it creates good results, and if it works for the company, that's great. And then you just have to accept that. Hey Simon, your blog and YouTube videos are really helping me. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to help. Really. Thanks. Raising my glass of water with vitamins. With capacitor, you can use Vuetify instead of Ionic UI. Yeah, as I said, there are other UI kits, and Ionic might not be the most popular UI in the future. Might be. Please tell me, what is capacitor? Yeah. Capacitor. Do I have a video about this? What is capacitor? I don't. I definitely have a video about this on my channel. Capacitor is really just the building tool for your application. It's the layer between your application and the native mobile device. So it allows you to access native device functionalities like camera, geolocation, stuff like that. At the same time, capacitor helps you to create the native iOS and Android projects. So this is where capacitor is really important. Yeah, Alan, happy to plug in. A little shout out to you. Okay, yeah. Seems very slow uptake by developers and adding new plugins. I thought, yeah, that's right. You don't see too many capacitor plugins. If you check out the documentation, they have a where is it actually? No, it's under plugins. I have to zoom in. They have a bunch of official plugins, but of course these plugins won't cover all your needs. And the capacitor community is definitely a cool idea, but I think they haven't done enough to yeah, share this community, or yeah. I know there are not too many plugins here. That's completely right. I expected more plugins as well. Creating capacitor plugins is in fact very easy. So if you want to try this, I did this in the past as well and created a tutorial about this. That's definitely cool. But yeah, I would love to see more capacitor plugins as well. Still, you can use Cordova plugins with capacitor for native device functionality if you really have to. Yeah, Aaron Saunders does Ionic View. I've seen some from him, but I think he's also doing Ionic React. And also, as far as I know, he leads a company or has a company. So I still think there's the opportunity for someone like a Simon from 8 years ago to step in and create an Ionic View blog. I would do it if I had the time for it, really. I would do it. If you're using Ionic with React, you're in big trouble. Yeah, might be the case. I don't know how well Ionic works with React. Hello, Ignacio. Welcome. You're a bit late to the party. We're kinda slowing down. But we had a big celebration party for the Build with Ionic book, which you can get at buildwithionic.com, if I haven't mentioned it before. Actually, I think I said a lot about this, but I haven't posted this link once. Did I post this? I shared the Ion December and I shared my... So, get Build with Ionic. Just for everyone checking this out in the future. I'm gonna leave the link in the chat. Yeah, capacitor is like Cordova. Kinda, and it's a bit different. I do have comparisons about this on my YouTube channel, just check it out. It's a bit different, and I shared the differences between capacitor and Cordova there as well. Just wanted to share, I reached my first 100 subscribers. It's crazy, never thought I would be able to own a channel and actually call myself a content. Congratulations, Amre. I don't know about, is your channel about Ionic, or is it about something else? Coding, not coding? Do you mean Twitch or YouTube? Anyway, congratulations on your first 100 subscribers. That certainly feels great. If only I had the time, yeah, Levar. Yeah. If I had the time, I would do Ionic View, everything as well. Ionic plus Tailwind, anyone? Interesting topic, Henry. I had a tutorial about Ionic and Tailwind, and you might be able to see this. The Build with Ionic page actually is using Ionic and Tailwind, simply because I really like these predefined things from Tailwind UI. I purchased Tailwind UI, and then you just copy over these things. Using Tailwind it's really very easy to use. Some like it, some don't like it. I really like it. I'm certainly using it for my next side project, for sure. With Ionic, there's one specific case in which I would recommend you use Tailwind with Ionic, and that's the case of this, because this Build with Ionic landing page is simply meant as a website. It's never gonna be an application. So for a website, I still think the Ionic styling is sometimes not feeling right. They did a lot to improve this, but thanks for subscribing, someone. But on the web, I just feel like the Tailwind stuff here looks so much better. Still, it's also a responsive page. Everything works on small devices as well. But Tailwind, they just released Tailwind 3 with a lot of improvements. But if you want to build a mobile application, I wouldn't use Tailwind, because Tailwind looks so generic and web-like. And if you use Ionic on iOS and Android, it really feels like iOS or Android, with the custom different header. The header text is left on Android or center on iOS. Different components look different. And that's just what I love about Ionic, that the native UI for iOS and Android is definitely a big plus for Ionic. So in those cases, I wouldn't use Tailwind. But I also use Angular and Tailwind for a lot of other web projects. Currently trying to build an audio recording app with Ionic View. Used your Angular version as a base. Yeah, let me know on Twitter how it turns out. I hope it works with Vue. Will Apple ever embrace progressive web apps? Well, they took steps towards it, as far as I know. I think that might already be 2 years ago. That they took steps forward. So you can add progressive web apps through Safari, and they look like applications on iOS. It's just that the 99% of iOS users won't actually know about progressive web apps. It's a technology of developers, and we celebrate that. But going through this share and then add to home screen and all these clicks, it's really, I don't know about anyone who's doing that on iOS, really. At the same time, also push notifications are missing inside progressive web apps on iOS. That's something a lot of people have complained. It is good and bad. In terms of privacy, it's actually good that Apple still holds this policy. In terms of creating an internal application for your company, it's maybe not that good. So I think Apple will kind of move a bit forward in the direction of progressive web apps, but Google might be ahead all the time. Is this video recorded? As far as I know, I hope it will be. So I hope this should be available on YouTube later, Tarek. And hi, Sachindra. I'm always sorry if I pronounce your names wrong. So not sure how to pronounce every name. Yeah, Apple is definitely ahead in marketing, but also we must credit this to Apple. The new M1 is really an awesome device. Yeah, I know it was kind of expensive, but the performance of this device is just in comparison to what I had before. I had an iMac from 2016 maybe, and an old MacBook Pro, and now I've completely switched to this Mac. I don't hear the fan. We're streaming, although I'm not streaming in full HD. We're streaming since almost 2 hours. I can't hear the fan on this device. I have countless windows open, Visual Studio, I have like 20 tabs in Chrome open. This device is just amazing, and whenever I open something to search with Spotlight, it just immediately opens whatever I want to do. Please upload this video to YouTube. I was a little late to the party. Yeah, if at least this configuration is right, you will see the video on YouTube. If this video is not uploaded to YouTube, I'm gonna do another live stream this week. Please cut this. Cut. No, it's not possible. But I really think this will be shared to YouTube. My company doesn't like Apple, but users still want iPhone. How to deal with iOS changes? I'm not sure what you mean, Scott, but yeah, it's problematic. But why does your company not like Apple? I know even big consulting companies allow employees to have Apple devices. I really don't know why companies are still strict about this. Okay, we're getting into generic questions. Observable versus async await. Actually, I'm 100% observable. I like observables a lot more and what you can do with observables. But of course, if possible, if you have to use promises, I would use async await. But in general, really observables all the time. Where can I buy your cup? Yeah, I'm sorry, I got this as a present from the Ionic team. Oh, my voice leaves. It's time to end this soon. I think Ionic, yeah, maybe they're gonna open something about swag in the future. Again, they had something, a swag shop in the past. I think they hired a lot of community managers in the past, so maybe we're gonna see that as well. Oh, my voice is really leaving. So before my voice completely dies, let me quickly tell you, you can also join the Ionic Discord channel. You can find another announcement on the Ionic blog, so just scroll down a bit, announcing official Ionic Discord. This is another great place for more support and for staying up to date with Ionic. Okay, Scott. Nope, can't use AppFlow for Apple, just Android. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I also want to cover a bit more about AppFlow and Ionic portals next year. So I have a lot of plans for next year. Until then, I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. I really appreciate that 60 to 100 people celebrated the launch of Build with Ionic with me together today. I was really excited, really super excited for this day. In about 10 minutes, you will also see the official release video for Build with Ionic on my YouTube channel. So if you want a quick additional look once again at all the stuff that's included with Build with Ionic and the different packages, you should check the video out, going live in about 10 minutes. Otherwise, I really hope you will check it out, buildwithionic.com, my new book, until Friday this week. So in December, if you watch this later on YouTube, I'm sorry, you might have missed this launch discount. 20% off until the end of the week. And if you don't see me live again, then uploading this video to YouTube worked. So I really hope this works. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to drink a lot of tea until then. Anyway, it was a pleasure answering your questions. Whenever I do a stream, I say we have to do this more often, and then you see me again in about a year. So I'm not gonna say you're gonna see me more often, but I definitely enjoyed this stream. Just like I enjoyed the streams the last time, and I enjoyed them, and if I enjoy something, I might do it again because it brings me fun. Just like that, maybe. All of you, if you're celebrating Christmas, I hope you have a great time with your family. Please stay healthy and get vaccinated if possible. I got my booster shot last Saturday. It's really something we all should do. If you don't celebrate Christmas but still have some holidays, take your time to reflect on the year. Towards the end of the year, I'm gonna release another video about my reflections and my plans for the next year, which includes some small changes maybe, but definitely keep your recommendations, your questions, your requests for new tutorials coming all the time. Submit your apps for app review. Really, all the things you submit and send in really help me to plan out my content, because I have a huge list of ideas for Ionic content, for app review videos or other videos. All the things that are problematic for you, just let me know them. Although I'm not able to create something about everything all the time, answering all your questions, I try my best really to create the content that you need. And so, just like all the content, I hope that Built with Ionic is something that you need for your future Ionic journey. So, it was an amazing stream with all of you. I wish you a happy, night. Maybe in the US it's just morning. So have a great work day, have a great afternoon, have a great night or next day, and I will certainly catch you in the near future. Until then, Captain Ionic out.